driving.
At least the pre-trip has a checklist that you can...
No. You have to do everything by memory.
And we're live.
What the fuck? Okay, well...
Yeah, we're 2 minutes late. Somebody's about to jump my shit, I'm sure. Everybody's watching.
So, Hookers for Jesus is trending, and her pinned tweet says, 17 years ago, Jesus broke my chains and gave me freedom from anxiety, depression, pills, cocaine, adultery, exotic dancing, prostitution, and sex trafficking. 15 years now, I've walked back into hell to rescue others like me, and I'm not stopping anytime soon. So take that, devil. Whatever. But, so she is a former victim of sex trafficking. She's a speaker and author and founder of Hookers for Jesus and the Destiny House. And anti-religious people want to shut her down for rescuing people because religion's involved. What absolute bullshit. How's it going, guys? We're here for another episode of Lying Dog-Faced Pony Soldier. I am your host, Jay Fry, and with me is Josh. How's it going, Josh?
Not dead from the Kung Flu, so we're doing good there.
And as always, how's it going, Sean?
It's going. We're here. It's Monday. We're alive again. No woo flu.
The woohoo.
Woo-ha. Got you all in check.
So you're literally waiting until the show starts to go off and take a shower. Is that
Well, I
what I'm
gotta say
understanding?
hi. Hey, everybody.
Hi, Garrick. You can go.
All right. I'm going to take a shower.
Garrick's naked, just so y'all know.
And that kind of explains our ratings. That's why we go nowhere. So on the topics for tonight is apparently Joe Biden calling somebody a pony soldier, whatever that means. And we'll talk about Oscars and how Joaquin Phoenix is 5'8". But let's talk about what happened with Joe Biden.
Joe Biden was asked a pretty civil question by a supporter at one of her town halls. I actually have this open, so let me read it verbatim. Her question was, "You're arguably the candidate with the greatest advantage in this race. How do you explain the performance in Iowa, and why should the voters believe that you can win the national election?" Pretty fair question, considering he did terrible in Iowa.
How dare that pony-faced soldier boy?
Right. So here is his response, and I quote, "Iowa's a Democratic caucus." The former vice president responded, "Have you ever been to a caucus?" When Moore said that she had, he responded, "No, you haven't. You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier." Insulting a supporter directly at his own town hall in New Hampshire, where he's supposedly hoping to rectify his horrible loss in Iowa.
To be fair, they all lost in Iowa. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
So what are we saying here? Syphilis? Is that what Joe Biden has?
Something. He explained the provenance of the lying dog-faced pony soldier at a North Dakota rally in 2018, saying that his brother loved to use lines from movies. There's a line in a movie, a John Wayne movie, where the Indian chief turns to John Wayne and says, "This is a lying dog-faced pony soldier." It is not clear if this line actually shows up in any John Wayne movie. The general consensus seems to be that Biden is probably thinking of the 1952 Tyrone Power film Pony Soldier, in which a character says, "The pony soldier speaks with the tongue of the snake that rattles." So he has used this exact verbiage before.
And the way the internet works is now if you Google lying dog-faced pony soldier, you're never going to find anything that isn't Joe Biden in the last day.
Correct.
What a What a weird turn of events.
Okay, her response to that was, I asked Joe Biden a fair question. His immediate response was to question whether or not I had ever attended a caucus. In my nervousness, in the presence of the former vice president, I nodded yes. Whether she personally been to a caucus or not, she told the Post, was irrelevant to her question.
Yeah, it was relevant to his question, though.
Yeah, but what difference does it make? Instead of answering the question put to you as, trying to become the people's servant, as it were, obviously that's not how he views it, but is in fact what he's doing because he needs voters to actually vote for him. He decides to instead question the truthfulness of the person asking the question, who is nominally a supporter, being at a Joe Biden town hall.
That didn't seem like the question of a supporter.
Well, it is a question because if you've put your
a question, sure.
if you're throwing in for Joe Biden and you're in New Hampshire and you see what happened in Iowa, where he comes in fourth or fifth, depending on how doctored the DNC decided to make those results. It's a legitimate question, even if you are a Biden supporter, because if you're throwing in for him, you're just kind of wasting your primary vote. If he's not serious about running. And it's obvious now he's not serious about running. I am more and more positive that the only reason he even threw his name into the ring was to allow for the corruption angle for the impeachment.
Yeah. Oh, no, undoubtedly.
And now that is over, his usefulness is done, and he's trying to GTFO and cover his tracks.
Okay, I can see that. That works for me. Now we can talk about Chuck Todd, who thinks Bernie Bros are brown shirts.
Chuck Todd might not be wrong.
Well, that hasn't kept from Fire Chuck Todd trending in the for comparison purposes. Hashtag Fire Chuck Todd has 6,139 tweets. Hookers for Jesus currently has 18,000 tweets. I don't really see the same grassroots effort applying to both, but also The Snake, which is in political trending for some reason, has over 16,000 tweets. So, and for some reason, The Snake is in parentheses, but it's there's pictures of Trump with Medusa hair. There's pictures of a red coral snake with a top hat, because that's a thing. President Menchia. Can't believe it. Once again, Trump gets the papers for his pocket and reads his weird poem about the snake. It's an insulting reference to immigrants. He seems obsessed with this is the strange dementia-related behavior. It wasn't on the prompter. I like the story of the snake. I also like the story of the scorpion and the frog. They're basically the same damn story in two different metaphors. But I'm getting kind of sick of seeing literally the same people with 12 followers doing all the bidding of basically the DNC. I would gladly be off Twitter if they had verified people. Like one account per person. That's all you get. It's beyond ridiculous. You just know half these posters are other journalists just wanting to quote themselves in their articles.
Well, Twitter is a cesspool.
That it is.
I hear a kitty cat.
Yeah, he's really happy.
Is that what it is? There's a picture of Ilhan Omar with basically snake style camouflage over her. So there's some strong meme game here, and that's how it ends up getting popularized. Is there's the comment calling somebody the snake or whatever it is, and then a Trump reporter in response retweets it with their comment, and boom, you go from one comment to immediately it being two comments, and everyone who responds just proliferates that particular trending point. It's just how it works, and it's garbage. Unless you have a significant number, which 16,000 tweets ain't a lot in a country of 33 million people. But it's more than I get on any given tweet, so I guess there is that. Do we have anything to talk about before we get into Oscars? You want to just jump right into who won what at the Oscars?
I didn't watch the Oscars, so I literally know nothing about who won what.
I also did not watch the Oscars, but I do own Google.
You own
Neither did
Google?
I. See how feeling about it.
I own a
Wait,
Google.
I was about to say, you own Google and you've been bumming money off of me? The fuck?
I own a Google, I guess is how we'll. So we've got what do we want to go with? The best picture, some of the choices. 1917, didn't see it. How was Ford versus Ferrari?
Both great movies.
These are the top results.
Hey, shut up. Joker was on there, as well as
Joker was meh.
Once Upon a Time. All right. Once Upon a Time.
Performance, I guess. Oops.
What?
I said, I guess I just love a good performance.
Okay. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Want to see it.
I heard
Never
that was
watched
good.
it.
Yeah, I got to see that one. I heard that one was pretty good.
I enjoy the hell out of some Brad Pitt.
Do you, though? Even after his 45 seconds?
He's still not like on par with like sanctimonious sheriff from Stranger Things, but Marriage Story, Jojo Rabbit made it to the Best Picture nomination, which is a story about Hitler. Well, in a way, Hitler is played by what's his name? Takai Waititi? Whatever it is. Little Women and The Irishman. So those are the choices. The 8 choices, or well, 8 of the 9 choices, because Parasite won, and I don't know anything about Parasite.
Never heard of it.
Actually, I did hear about it before, but
let's see. It's on Movie Rentals. Let me see what it's about.
Huh.
While you look
Green
that up,
class discrimination threatened the relationship between the wealthy Park family and the destitute Kim clan in Bong Joon-ho's darkly hilarious modern fairy tale. So it's basically,
sounds like some caste system bullshit.
yeah. Meet the Park family, the picture of aspirational wealth, and the Kim family, rich in street smarts but not much else. Via chance or fate, these two houses are brought together, and the Kims sense a golden opportunity masterminded by college-aged Ki Woo. The Kim children expediently install themselves as tutor and art therapist of the Park. Soon, a symbiotic relationship forms between the two families. The Kims provide indispensable luxury services, while the Parks obliviously bankroll their entire household. When a parasitic interloper threatens the Kims' newfound comfort, a savage, underhanded battle for dominance breaks out, threatening to destroy the fragile ecosystem between the Kims and the Parks. By turns darkly hilarious and heart-wrenching, Parasite showcased a modern master at the top of his game. Sounds pretentious as shit.
What's the fable or fairy tale?
I don't know. They're calling it a modern fairy tale.
Okay. Well, the Parasite won the best picture. But a lot of the same for best actor. You've got Marriage Story again, Adam Driver, Leonardo DiCaprio, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
Then you've got Jonathan Pryce for The Two Popes, Antonio Banderas in Pain and Glory. I have no idea what that's about. And Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, where he won the best actor. That hashtag Oscars so white. And again, you see a lot of these repeating. You've got Tom Hanks. For some reason, Tom Hanks was the best supporting actor in A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, which is the story. I guess
he was the lead.
Well, I guess it's the story of the reporter who wrote the story on Mr. Rogers, not just Mr. Rogers.
That's a weird flex, but okay.
Al Pacino in The Irishman. Also, because this is obviously how good The Irishman was, Joe Pesci in The Irishman. Anthony Hopkins for The Two Popes.
Wait a minute. Did The Irishman actually go to theaters, though? Wasn't it a Netflix thing or an Amazon thing?
It's a Netflix exclusive.
Netflix exclusive.
So we've now superseded actual cinema for the Oscars.
Yeah.
Have we though? Because it hasn't won anything.
Yeah, but even though the fact that it was nominated, I thought in order to be eligible for it, it had to be a cinematic event.
One would think.
Well, it's an Academy Award, and they're all in the Academy. Brad Pitt won for Once Upon a Time.
Yeah, but what's the Academy of?
Motion Pictures and Arts.
So motion pictures. It's digital. It's not even a picture.
Now it is, yeah. Who the fuck is it? All right. So we've got Best Actress, Charlize Theron in Bombshell, Cynthia something African in Harriet, the story of Harriet Tubman, which isn't even out yet. Scarlett Johansson in Marriage Story, and Saoirse Ronan, Little Women, and the winner was Renee Zellweger for Judy.
Okay, but this is how you know that the Oscars is all bullshit. Well, not even from the political aspect and people having their heads up their ass and they're all circle jerking. It's they have nominated a movie that nobody has seen because it hasn't been released yet.
But the Motion Picture Arts Foundation, whatever, has.
But the whole point of the awards is the people, quote unquote, are supposed to, kind of have an input on this.
No, people have no input on the Academy Awards. It's only the Academy.
Yeah, that's all the voters are within the Academy, and basically all this is it's just become a trailer for movies, apparently.
Yeah. Well.
All right.
So Adam Driver was in the Best Supporting Actor for Marriage Story. Laura Dern, who was the other portion of the marriage, is here for the Marriage Story. Richard Jewell, which was directed by Clint Eastwood. Kathy Bates for Best Supporting Actress. Margot Robbie in Bombshell. Scarlett Johansson is in it again. Last time it was Best Actress for Marriage Story. Now it's Best Supporting Actress for Jojo Rabbit. And Florence Pugh for Little Women, and that was won by Laura Dern.
All
right. Quentin Tarantino for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood for Best Director. Todd Phillips for The Joker. Martin Scorsese for The Irishman, and Sam Mendes for 1917. And the winner was Bong Joon-ho for Parasite.
And on that note, I must leave. So I've got to study. So
enjoy your studying.
Oh yeah, tons.
Have fun,
and
Josh.
enjoy it. All right, later, guys.
Bye.
Hey, text me about that 45.
I already bought the hand for it, the transfer bar, so
Sweet.
I'll get it fixed. All right, later.
Later.
All right. Best original music score up there is 1917 Little Women, Marriage Story, Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, and Joker. So Joker won, but some interesting. John Williams did a Star Wars, of course, and Marriage Story was done by Randy Newman. But Hildur something. She's actually a female composer. It's the first time a woman has won from that category.
So, okay, given how Hollywood is, the score might be awesome. I don't know. The soundtrack might be awesome. Don't know. But you have to question whether or not the only reason it was awarded to her was because she has a vagina. It might not be 100% merit.
That's a fair point. I mean, John Williams, Thomas Noonan, and Randy Newman were all in the mix, and those are some of the best. I mean, I don't really care for Randy Newman. His music has never been something that inspired me.
You don't like You Got a Friend in Me?
I don't like most of his songs that revolve around like exactly what's happening. That for me is
He's no Leon Redbone, that's for sure. But yeah.
I actually really enjoyed. It was an episode of Family Guy where Randy Newman was just literally singing what Peter was doing at a given moment.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God damn, that's accurate.
Yeah. Well, and let's be fair, the Star Wars soundtrack isn't John Williams' best work. At least not the new one.
I was gonna say,
The original one back in the 70s, abso-freaking-lutely. This one, nah, not so much.
What the? Best animated feature, Toy Story 4. I've never heard of Klaus, and I've never heard of I Lost My Body, but Missing Link, okay, and How to Train Your Dragon were the other options. Klaus, I've never heard of. But Toy Story 4 won.
Shocked, I tell you. Shocked.
Okay. And best foreign picture. We're starting to get into some Pain and Glory, Honeyland, Corpus Christi, Les Miserables. Parasite won best foreign film.
So, what did Cats win?
Fucking Catnip, so they'd sit out of this one because they didn't get shit.
Did they even get nominated?
No. It's an embarrassment everybody in Hollywood would love to forget, I'm sure.
Here's an interesting one. Best original screenplay. Parasite had two. Parasite and 1917 each had 2 bites at the apple.
How does that work?
Well, there's Han Jin-won for Parasite, and I guess it's not. I guess they're both for the same because the winners were both Parasite, Han Jin-won, and Bong. So it's just the collaborative effort. That makes more sense. Just the way this is listed is a little funky. Knives Out, Rian Johnson. Okay, whatever.
I want to see that.
I do want to see that. That looks like an entertaining movie.
I'll have to check that out then. Best documentary, best adaptive screenplay was Jojo Rabbit, The Story of Hitler. Best original song, Elton John, Love Me Again. Okay. Best cinematographer for 1917 was Roger Deakins.
And I take it that one. They had to give it something, and that would make the most sense, I think.
Well, best sound mixing is also 1917, Stuart Williams and Mark Taylor.
Really? That's interesting.
Also on the list were Joker, Ford versus Ferrari, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Ad Astra, and See, because there again is Joker.
That I could see going. I mean, I'm glad it went to 1917 because that was probably a little more poignant. But I could also see the sound mixing for Ford versus Ferrari to be incredibly important because I'm sure most of that movie is how viscerally the engines sound.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I told everybody, I would see it in theaters. That is probably the only place to see it unless you have a legit home theater.
Right.
Really good sound.
Yeah.
Best visual effects, 1917 won again, beating out Star Wars: Rise of the Skywalker, Avengers: Endgame, The Lion King, and The Irishman.
Well, let's face it, The Irishman doesn't need a whole lot in the terms of special effects or visual effects.
Yeah, unless you're making Joe Pesci look tall.
Or both of them looking younger because they're both geriatric. That's another thing. Most of our society right now is incredibly elderly. Like most of pop culture, like all of the people running for president, most of the stars, quote unquote, in Hollywood, there's not really a young crop of people in Hollywood that are predominant like there was 20 or 30 years ago. It's all the same people from 20 or 30 years ago.
Yeah, like 5 movies in, and Angelina Jolie was on top of the world. But Alexandria Daddario, who is absolutely gorgeous with amazing blue eyes, is still relatively unknown, and she has done just as much to this point in her career as Angelina Jolie has, if not more.
Yeah, but she did Baywatch.
Angelina Jolie did some awful stuff in the early part too, but
that's true. But like, yeah, I mean, Brad Pitt's long in the tooth. All the gangster guys, Pesci, De Niro. Who else am I thinking of?
James Caan even.
How James Caan is still upright, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But
Jack Nicholson.
Since we're talking about it, let's give a nod to the hat for Michael Douglas's dad, Kirk Douglas.
Yeah.
Because even Michael Douglas is long in the tooth, and that old bastard lived to 103. So, good on Kirk Douglas.
Yeah, he never should have got on that motorcycle.
Yeah, damn shame.
But yeah, I mean, I really don't. I mean, Joaquin Phoenix is a great actor, but he's in his 40s, and I still don't even hold him up anywhere near Brad Pitt.
Well, I think as far as he's kind of like, I want to say Crispin Glover. When he acts the shit out of every part he's handed. He really does. Mm-hmm. He's a fantastic actor, but he's not really leading man material because he really gets into the character, and that's not what Hollywood really wants for most of their stuff. They want you to look at Brad Pitt or Tom Cruise being Brad Pitt or Tom Cruise in attached movie name here. And
so you're saying the actors are too good now?
Well, Joaquin Phoenix is. Because he actually acts, as opposed to, again, I'm Tom Cruise in attached movie name here. I'm Brad Pitt in attached movie name here. Even Leonardo DiCaprio, who's a better actor than both Brad Pitt and arguably Tom Cruise, because he actually acts, isn't quite the draw that Brad Pitt or Tom Cruise are.
Have you seen 12 Monkeys?
I love 12 Monkeys. 12 Monkeys is a great
Brad
movie.
Pitt was awesome in 12.
Have you seen Cool World?
I have seen Cool World. All right. Okay.
I've seen neither of those.
I miss Brendan Fraser.
I do miss Brendan Fraser too.
He's on Doom Patrol.
Because he was a hot actor there for a hot minute until Hollywood figured out that he was right wing and then had some sort of condition.
Yeah. Well, he also him and Lance Hendrickson both believe you're not an actor if you aren't acting. And that has led, for a lesser degree, it really doesn't hurt Lance Henriksen. He's not a starring role, really. He does plenty of starring movies because he's Lance Henriksen. But George of the Jungle, Dudley Do-Right, The Mummy, which it was a success, a huge success for him.
Yeah, a couple
but
of
he
them.
he will do blockbusters followed up by just heart-wrenching destructions of cinema funds back to back.
Okay,
So,
Dudley Do Right, not a good movie, but how fun would it be to be Dudley Do Right?
oh, absolutely. Like, who was the bad guy? Was that Alfred Molina?
I don't remember.
Yeah. At one point, there's a scene where Dudley is now evil and he's wearing all black and he's comparing himself to Snidely Whiplash or whatever it is. And he's like, no, see, this is black. You're wearing dark blue. And they compare the clothes, and Dudley is wearing blacker clothes, and it was actually pretty humorous for being a shit movie. Now here's one: best costume design ended up going to Little Women, but The Joker, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood were also available. So they kind of did throw that one just to have Little Women up on the board. Because I don't give a damn about your fucking umbrella dresses. Irishman. Best production design went to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Also there was 1917, Parasite, Jojo Rabbit, and The Irishman. Best animated short is a bunch of shit I've never heard of. Best live action short, I didn't even know those were a thing. Best film editing went to Ford versus Ferrari. Also was Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Parasite, and The Irishman.
Gee, I'm seeing a trend there.
Yeah. Best makeup and hairstyling, Bombshell, 1917. Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. There's the first for Maleficent. 2 for her. 1917, Joker. And that was won by...
Has that version of Maleficent come out yet?
Nope.
Okay.
Best sound editing, because that's apparently a separate category. Ford versus Ferrari. Pretty sure we caught on that one, all right? Documentary, Learning to Skateboard in a War Zone. Okay. And that's all of them. Good Lord.
I remember tuning into the Oscars when I was younger and it being an event and worth watching because it wasn't so political. And it was much more fun to watch.
Did you hear somebody? Did you hear somebody track down Ricky Gervais to hear what his opening line would have been?
Yes, wonderful. You have that?
I don't have the. I can look up the quote real quick, but it was glad to see you're all out here today to give your speeches on open borders and equal rights and fair wages and allowing your staff to rest one day of the year and their subpar pay and
yeah,
whatever it was.
Pretty much.
Ricky Gervais. Fucking, how do you spell that? Ricky Gervais Oscars. Here we go. Yeah. As it turns out, I don't care enough. Yes, Alex, it's Monday. Congratulations. You made it. We also made it, so there's that. Not saying much, comparing the amount of shit you have together as we do. So,
Hey, Alex.
So what did Joker win? Joaquin won for Best Actor?
yep.
And what else?
Soundtrack.
Okay.
That speech was weird, by the way, from what I heard on the clips from Ben Shapiro's show.
If you know anything about the Phoenix family,
What's
it
left?
was pretty normal. Yeah, they're a bunch of weird ass, tripped out hippies with
River just kind of rambled.
Very different take on how life works, and
That's putting it mildly, if you're accurate.
yeah, it's they're kooky, and their kooky works. I mean, they they've all fared well in that fucked up city. So, and again, Joaquin is a hell of an actor. I can't take that away from it. He does a really phenomenal job in basically every role he's ever done.
There's probably not many places they would fare well aside from Hollywood.
Vegas.
Yeah, maybe. That's a good point.
Yeah, and wherever Marianne Williamson is from, about there. That'd be about it.
Man, I want to thank Hollywood so much. It's either here or in Ashram in New Delhi, and I'm glad it worked out here because I didn't want to give up eating meat.
You could have made it in Bollywood.
Well, apparently Joaquin Phoenix did get up eating meat, right? I mean, that was what the whole bit about the cows was.
I didn't see it. No.
I mean, he's not wrong, and we have a point that it is kind of inhumane to rip number one, veal is wrong as far as I'm concerned, but
oh yeah,
that's just me.
Unless it's cooked right.
Oh, it tastes wonderful, but the whole concept of what veal is wrong. Yeah, there's a couple of things I refuse to eat, even though I'd eat a person if you cooked them right, but I steer away from veal and suckling pig because I just
Careful there,
children is bad.
Smoothie King Center? That doesn't sound like a large venue.
Ooh.
You know who's not a vegan? Daniel Day-Lewis. Do you know how I learned that?
No.
He caught a parasite because when he was filming Lincoln, he decided to act like Lincoln as if Lincoln caught his own food and ate it, and he caught a parasite from undercooked meat that he killed himself and ate.
Okay.
Method actor. Speaking of method actor, there's a hilarious story about Shia LaBeouf who
he's still alive?
I don't know if currently alive, but when he was alive earlier, he was in Fury, the story of the battle tank, and they were going to blow the shit out of the tank. But Shia, who was in combat, refused to leave the tank, so his rabbi had to come to set to talk him out. And the funniest part of that is he played a lapsed Catholic who was reborn again on the battlefield. And his rabbi had to remind him that he wasn't a Catholic and to get out of the goddamn tank.
Dad, I figured out what
Fury.
So that was pretty humorous.
Jay,
What?
was that for the movie Fury?
Yeah.
With Brad Pitt? Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I'm trying to think of a movie where he was in a tank.
Yeah, Shia LaBeouf was like the gunner or whatever. But yeah, he
was a cannon operator.
what the fuck ever. But yeah, he went a little off script.
Yeah.
And it was just funny that his rabbi had to come down to set to remind him he was Jewish.
So, if the Academy's giving out awards to movies that were never in the theaters, what about series that are on Netflix that are arguably better than movies anyway?
Well, that's the thing. It does movies. For television series or a series that you're talking about, you'd have to go to the Golden Globes.
Yeah.
Oh, so there is a category for that. All right.
Yeah.
Those are already over, though, for this year. Aren't they?
It's the Tony Awards does Broadway. Grammys is music. Oscars is movies. Golden Globes is everything. It's like TV generally. I think they do movies as well, right?
I don't know. And I know the MTV Music Awards,
Oh,
which are
that's true.
not about music at all. Those, I think, did everything.
Well, if you want to get into that shit, then you can talk about the Nickelodeon Kids Awards or whatever.
Kids' Choice Awards.
Kids Choice Awards. There you go.
Yeah, those are terrible.
They were fun when I was younger, but then, yeah, they turned to shit as I got older. Or maybe I just saw the shit that they were.
Yeah, when they give everything to Dan Schneider because he's their cash cow, and then, wait a minute, he likes young girls' feet? Wait a minute.
Yeah, and Raging Pedo.
And you'll notice that we haven't seen anybody from iCarly come back and do anything.
Miranda Cosgrove started a YouTube channel. That's about it.
So she's doing real life iCarly now? What?
Might look of it.
That's weird.
And the last I heard of Jeanette, is it Janet or Jeanette?
Jeanette McCurdy.
Janine.
Janine McCurdy.
She tried to do country music, and that fucking bombed.
Well, that's because she was dating NBA players.
Yeah, true.
I really enjoy that chubby cheeked little chipmunk.
Oh, dude, have you seen her as an adult?
No.
Oh, my God. She is smoking hot.
Well, now I have to find out.
Doesn't do it for me anymore.
Kind of like, dude. Kind of like.
So this is like feeling like goes to hell.
Was it? Who played Victoria in?
Victoria Justice.
Yeah, her. She's also a strikingly good-looking young woman.
That's what I've been saying about Alexandria Daddario. Gorgeous.
Yeah. Oh, and I think the only one that did anything outside of the Nickelodeon thing was Ariana Grande. She got her own music career going, but I apparently flushed that down the toilet. And then the other gal from Victorious, whose name I don't remember, the one with the...
Oh, Lily, what's her face?
Isn't that Aquafina?
Yeah. Well, she always looked good, too. It's like... The one that always got undershot, in my opinion, was Emily Osment. Man, she always looked good.
Who was that?
That was the one best friend of Miley Cyrus in her show.
I didn't see Miley Cyrus's show.
She's Haley Joel Osment's sister, younger sister.
Oh, okay.
Oh, doesn't she have like Tennessee tune?
I don't know. And Jeanette McCurdy looks pretty much the same. I don't see any difference. She didn't even get bigger boobs. I don't get it.
All right, it's back on.
What is?
My inappropriate crush on
Jeanette McCurdy? Okay, so now we're done creeping on the young fillies.
I got one more.
Hold on. Look at her age. She's 27. Everyone can eat a dick.
Who is?
Jeanette McCurdy.
Already?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, all these women are pretty close to my age. Fairly.
She's 5'2".
I said age, not height.
I was just stating that she was 5'2". Speaking of, guess who's 5'8"?
A Joaquin Phoenix?
Joaquin fucking Phoenix, man.
Really? I'm taller than Joaquin. Fucking A. Make me feel
Well, I mean, it's few and far between. I'm not taller than currently.
good. Ooh, man. She still looks good. Son of a bitch.
I might still be taller than Lucifer. Well, we'll see how that works out for me. Tom Ellis. What, Miranda Cosgrove hasn't done nothing. Andrea Grande, she has music. Victoria Justice, looking cute as ever, hasn't done anything. Selena Gomez. Wait, was High School Musical wasn't
So
Disney?
she hasn't really done anything in the last 5 or 10 years, though. Well, not 10.
She did Sucker
5 years.
Punch, and
No. What? No, she wasn't in Sucker Punch. Was she? No.
Selena Gomez, yeah. Was it? No, wait. Was it Vanessa Hudgens?
Yeah, it's Vanessa Hudgens.
Whatever.
Damn, Miranda Cosgrove is a good-looking Asian.
What now?
Pretty sure.
Pretty sure not.
Now I have to look at this freaking ethnicity of this chick just to punch him in the stupid face.
Well, that seems silly.
I'm thinking Latina.
Have you guys watched The Witcher?
Yeah.
I have enjoyed the hell out of it too.
Yeah, that was very well done. I was very impressed.
Colombian. No, Colombians are label. Let's see.
English, Irish, and French, you idiot.
What?
English, Irish, and French descent.
I don't see it.
What's
Like, not even
news?
Spanish. Nothing.
You're looking too much at the eyebrows, apparently.
Maybe it's the slanty eyes.
Those are the least slanty eyes of anyone that doesn't have slanty eyes ever. Like
Anyway.
the definition of round eye.
No.
Okay, maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
That didn't come out right.
Well, she's saying
Okay, anyway.
definitely not.
Now, the one I had a crush on out of all the Disney and Nickelodeon chicks was Debbie Ryan.
Who?
Debbie Ryan. That's the thing. Nobody really knows about her. She didn't do a whole lot. She's mostly a writer now. But, man, she was my type.
Do you think Shannon Doherty is Oriental too?
Debbie Ryan with a Y?
Yeah.
What a fucking whore. 5'5". There you go. That's she's pretty.
Yeah. Wait. How do you spell that?
D-E-B what? Oh wait, never mind.
What?
No, Shannon Doherty.
Doherty.
Ah, okay.
Look up 90210 and cancer.
Oh, it's back. They're both back.
Oh, she looks rough in that picture, though. What the shit?
Yeah, she.
Speaking of
cancer, dude.
It's a Wikipedia picture. I need to find a better one. Oh, wait. She was on that show with the Crazy Bitches, the two of them.
You fucking kidding me? Charmed? Yes.
Yeah, there you go. The early version. I remember that.
So young.
Speaking of Oscar snubs, both Luke Perry and Sid Haig were missing from the In Memoriam.
Yeah, but Luke Perry died last year.
Oscar season to Oscar season.
When did he die? March 4th, not 2019.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, they should have included him. Although, can you really count Buffy as a good quality movie? Steven's not here, apparently, because otherwise he would have been typing furiously about that comment.
That shit
I'm on my Google trying to figure out how to kick you off of this hangout.
How can you do that? It's his hangout.
It's my hangout.
It's his hangout.
his
I'm just the one who's broadcasting.
So much fuck you guys. I just hate everybody. He did didn't he do something animated? Wasn't he?
Oh,
He was in Tombstone.
You know who else they didn't put in the In Memoriam? Cameron Boyce or Tim Conway.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Man, Tim Conway's a big one. Jesus Christ. You gotta throw him in.
Cameron Boyce was Disney's go-to guy there for a while.
Well, I mean, what was he doing before you kicked it?
I have no idea.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, he was doing that show with. He's one of the kids with Debbie Ryan.
Which one is Debbie?
Yeah,
is she the blonde? No, she's the redhead.
Exactly.
Okay. She was the nanny, right?
Who's Cameron Boyce?
Anyway.
Yeah, he was in Tombstone. So there's that. Eat a dick. What else was he in? He's got to have something good.
Oh, who was the guy that played a dad in that show? I saw him on The Office, on an Office episode not too long ago.
What show?
The one that Cameron Boyce was in, and Debbie Ryan.
I don't know who this. Oh, he was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, playing Wayne Munder.
Was he really? Okay.
Yeah.
I really am going to have to watch this movie.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Not a good movie. Not a
Not that
good
one.
movie.
No, not that one. No.
That was who played the main guy in that? That was God damn it, he's a famous actor, and he was just chewing the scenery.
Bruce Payne.
No, hang on, I gotta look it up now.
It was Dudes and Dragons, not Dungeons and Dragons. My bad.
I was gonna say, is there a Dungeons and Dragons movie?
There's several, but the most
Yeah.
recent one is
Monsters and Mazes by Tom Hanks.
no, that was a good one in a weird way.
I really don't know any of these movies. The last movie I saw based on that style of game was World of Warcraft, and that was just God.
Luke Perry was a bad guy in an episode of.
Don't know why I couldn't remember this, but Jeremy Irons, he was the one who was chewing through the scenery.
Yeah. Well, it was Jeremy Irons and Bruce Payne were the bad guys. I really liked the show Leverage because it had the last generation of TV actors. All your favorite characters were villains. Like Dean Cain was a villain. No, yeah, Dean Cain was a villain in an episode. Bill Engvall was a villain.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like there were several like the only one I thought that they missed was Carl from Family Matters. like everything else, like they really hit it, like Step by Step. John Schneider from the Dukes of Hazzard was a bad guy.
Ooh.
It was like, hey, you're the most lovable person ever. Let's get you in here as a villain.
Oh, you know who would have been a good one if he wouldn't be dead? Shit.
Well, Leverage was 10 years ago.
Yeah, I think he would have been dead before then still. Who was the...
Say Bob Denver and I'll punch you in the throat.
No. On the Waterboy, who was the coach? Not Henry Winkler, but the other guy. The other team coach. He was a country music singer.
Waterboy?
Yeah, Adam Sandler.
Yeah,
God.
Not up on my Adam Sandler cast members.
Well, Adam Sandler, Kathy Bates.
Keep going.
Jerry Reed.
Jerry Reed. Yep, there you go.
Yeah.
He'd have been a good one for a villain on Leverage.
Yeah, he died in like 2008 or whatever. He actually was in one of my favorite movies when I was younger. Survivors with Martin Landau and Robin Williams.
Murray. I mean,
he played the bad guy.
No, not Bill Murray. Tom. God damn it! I'm blanking on his name.
What are you talking about?
It wasn't. No, it. That's not. I don't know. I forgot his.
Give me a hint.
I don't think I'm forgetting his name because he's one of the biggest fucking comedians in the world, or was, till he committed suicide.
Robin Williams.
Williams, thank you.
I said that one.
I know. I said it as you said it, so thank you. Yeah, so it was the Robin Williams movie?
Yeah, Robin Williams, Martin Landau.
Yes.
Yeah. And Jerry Reed was the bad guy, and it was. I really enjoyed that movie, but it was like cutting edge humor to me because it was made in like '89 or whatever, and I was like 7 years old, 8 years old, 9 years old, at least 9 years old.
I think to this day that is still the only movie I've ever seen Robin Williams handle a firearm in, and it's hilarious to watch.
Yeah. No, wait, Survivors was like early '80s.
Yeah, it was like, 83, 82?
Yeah, it might have been earlier than I thought. But yeah, Robin Williams ends up becoming like a militiaman, and has all these guns and stuff. He gets his AR-15 gets shot by a Jerry Reed with his 45. Yeah. But he's paramilitary, so he got robbed by Jerry Reed, and it's like that's the last time it happens to him. He's gonna become a soldier of fortune murder killer for his own right, and he ends up finding out that Jerry Reed's coming to kill him. So he fully kits out like Rambo and goes into the woods to kill Jerry Reed. And he ends up because Jack, I brought the wrong bullets. He had like a ton of magazines on him, but they're for the wrong gun. I brought the wrong gun, Jack.
Ah, shit. I love that movie. I'm gonna have to watch that again.
Yeah. What?
There is one story that's not connected to the Oscars, but yet somehow is connected to the Oscars I want to talk about real quick. Did y'all see this story about this housewife in Australia?
No.
Okay, so I think it was a Sunday morning show or something like that. It was a morning news show that I seen a tweet about this Australian wife who has like 3 or 4 kids, and she was talking about her daily routine. She wakes up.
About how she had become a homemaker instead of actually working.
Well, she never really explicitly said that, but she said she takes care of her husband, gets up at like 3:30 every morning, fixes breakfast, and doesn't go to bed till, clothes are in the washer, dishwasher's on, and the lunches are packed ready for the morning. And I mean, the news show gave her absolute shit. And it ties into the Oscars because these are the same people that just are disconnected from reality as far as I can tell. They're disconnected from average people. And it's sickening. I'm just fucking tired of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it all depends on like how your finances are. If you're middle class because of a one income, then stay at home mom can be a thing. But if you're not making it, or depending on what your job is, if you're a teacher or something, then you're really paying for 2 hours of a babysitter 5 days a week, and that's it. Like, you have the same schedule as your children do.
That's if your kids are in school, which, I mean, this mom, from the pictures that I saw, it looks like maybe 2 out of the 4 were in school. So, I mean, take it from there.
Yeah.
What you feel.
That's fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but at some point, feminists are only pushing for feminism that helps their cause. That's it.
It's almost like people are self-interested or something.
What? No. Yeah.
No.
Exactly.
But back to that point that you were making, Jay, I mean, the easiest way to make that a reality, want a wife that's a homemaker, all you have to do is hold down a steady job that is moderately well paying and do as much as you possibly can to avoid debt, which means avoiding credit cards, putting aside money in the savings account for hard times so that way you don't have to go into debt when hard times come. I mean, it's not easy, but it's simple.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the recovering from hard times that gets everybody.
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to disagree on that.
I'm there right now. I'm broke as a joke until the end of the month. But all my bills are paid.
Yeah, that's kind of the state of most people, I think, is that they get their bills paid, don't have a whole lot extra, and rinse and repeat monthly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got like $110 to get me through to like the 22nd.
It's funny how people learn to budget themselves, but don't include saving money as a part of the budget.
Yeah.
Yeah, I talked to a kid last night on Bryden's stream on DLive. Subscribe at DLive live/Bryden. That he felt visceral reactions to seeing terrible things happen on the news, and it got him to feel something. I'm like, how fucking old are you? You want a visceral reaction? Try making rent on time. Just like, and come to find out, he's 18, lives in England in his parents' apartment. It's like, oh, well, yeah, shut up. You're not living for yourself at all, so there's no need to worry about it.
Yeah, if you're in that situation, any money you're making should be set aside for something else.
Yeah.
Like if you ain't saving up for school or saving up to buy a house or something and move the fuck out of your parents' apartment, yeah, you're not doing it right. Anyway, so what else is in the news? You talked about Biden pretty much committing political suicide, right? I thought I caught some of that.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm going to transition back to that because I'm proud of that picture. That's, I mean, dumbass, get out of the cat. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens tomorrow. That's for damn sure. How is the DNC going to rig New Hampshire for butt gig?
Warren wins by 6%.
Who?
Elizabeth Warren.
Nah, Bernie will win New Hampshire.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you said if they rig it. If they rig it, Bernie ain't winning.
Well, if they rig it, they've already showed their hand, and butt gig's their guy. The corporatists are going to butt gig because Warren has a problem with the truth, and she is absolutely terrible in a debate or confrontation. Hey, how about you mute your mic before you dig in the ice bin?
I'm sorry. I'm fixing a drink. Now, okay, I have a question. Was Matt last night, was he actually oblivious to the point that once that Buttigieg was just first to the punch and everybody else followed suit doing the exact same thing?
What do you mean?
Claiming victory? I didn't watch last night.
Okay, so he talked about Buttigieg going to the podium and saying they won, even though the stats hadn't been put out yet. Nobody knew who won or anything. But he seemed to miss the point that it seems that he just had the idea first, and then everybody followed suit doing the exact same thing. I don't think it was he was cheating. He just had this brilliant stroke of an idea and ran with it, and then everybody else kind of followed.
No, I'm pretty sure the DNC manufactured it to mitigate a Bernie win.
But then they would tell Buttigieg anyway? Kind of ruins it all, doesn't it?
No, he's a part. You got to understand, it's a machine. There's a corporation called the Democratic National Committee. They're a corporation.
Yeah.
And he is a corporate guy. He is their corporate guy because Biden has gone Looney Tunes and his usefulness is over. Warren, again, has a problem with reality and the truth and is terrible with confrontation. Bernie they don't want, so that leaves the only viable candidate that they've done the math on is Buttigieg.
Okay, well, I think...
Sorry, Klobuchar.
The only thing I can say about Elizabeth Warren is that she is a habitual liar, and when she does tell the truth, it is to her detriment, which she tried to tell the truth about the cost of universal health care or whatever it is, single payer health care. I forget how she stated it. But yeah, that was a stupid thing.
You remember when Hillary tried to tell everybody that her father was a haberdasher?
Yeah, a haberdasher, really?
Haberdasher.
I don't remember that, but I do know that that guy was deep in the mob.
Yeah, she tried. He was a simple haberdasher. Like, yeah, okay, rot him, whatever you say. Yeah, I think Booty just did it for the headlines. Like they literally weren't saying who won, so he came out and said he won to be the first in the headlines for saying claims he won the Iowa caucus.
I'm pretty sure that the DNC gave him the nudge too.
That's an interesting little conspiracy theory.
Steven says booty gig sounds too appealing. Call him butt gag. All right, so butt gag. Got it.
I still prefer butt plug.
They have got to understand that the real powers that be in the DNC have got to understand that they really don't have much of a chance at all in really winning this thing this year. As long as the economy stays good, like Trump could and is just repulsive to a large chunk of the nation just because of his demeanor and actions and all this stuff. And they're not necessarily wrong about it, but the thing that they don't seem to understand and didn't understand in 2016 is that there are people out there who are worse. They literally ran the one person in 2016 who could not beat Donald Trump because she was that terrible. And that was because she rigged it. If they had had any sense at all, they would have pushed Biden then. And he probably would have won. But because the negotiations in 2008 that Hillary stepped aside for Barack Obama because she was supposed to be coronated then in 2008. But because she wasn't polling well, because she is herself repulsive to the majority of Americans, just like Trump, probably worse than Trump, demonstrably worse than Trump, as we've seen.
She's worse than Trump because she's an elitist and she's not abashed about it. Trump at least can talk to the lowly plumber and electrician and the middle American.
And he can be a real guy about it.
Exactly.
Cocky and arrogant, but a real guy about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah, Hillary Clinton literally thinks she's better than you.
Yeah, that's what.
It doesn't help when the mainstream media says, "Okay, guys, Trump's a liar. It clearly wasn't a mile tall stack of cheeseburgers. It was barely 73 feet."
Right.
And average Americans like, "What the fuck is your problem?"
Yeah, he's prone to hyperbole. Big fucking deal.
Well, who hasn't said something like that? Like, rap sheet longer than my dick, man. Like, yeah, a single piece of paper beats that, buddy. Calm down with your hyperbole and your foolishness. No, it's just there are metaphors, similes, and comparisons that you generally make. Smiling ear to ear. That's not a thing.
Speaking of, what was the idiom that AOC lost her shit over? Man,
the bootstraps.
Pulling yourself up by your bootstraps.
Yeah, pulling yourself up by your bootstraps.
That one. God, what is moron?
The only thing better could have been her demonstrating.
Yeah, but her pumps don't have bootstraps. They're barely, they don't even really have straps. They're just, and they're heels, so there's really nothing to grab onto.
You can't climb the Eiffel Tower by picking yourself up by your bootlaces.
That's okay. I could have gave her a strap to step on. Just to demonstrate.
That was weirdly flirtatious of you.
Yeah, I know.
She's got nice boobs.
She does. I can't convince the guys in the Discord, but trust me, she is hot from the neck down.
I'm not voting for a president who doesn't have kids.
That's one of those things that our country has kind of lost in its accounting for who's going to be president.
Yeah, that's why Mayor Pete doesn't have a chance, though.
Well, this is the funny thing. Last go around, they ran the one person that couldn't beat Donald Trump. Now they're running 5 people that can't beat Donald Trump. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Biden doesn't have a chance now.
Biden has no chance. Warren has no chance. The ones that do have a chance, they don't want.
Bernie's one of the few people that has a chance.
He's got a legitimate chance. Yeah, Bernie does have a legitimate chance.
No,
but they're going to screw him again, and we're going to get the Bernie Bros a second time.
Right. The other person that would probably, if they embraced her, win hands down, Tulsi Gabbard. But they refuse to do it because she doesn't play their game. She's not a corporate shill for the DNC. Because the DNC, they're a corporation. They're a corporation that runs a significant chunk of the government in this country. Okay? They're unaccountable, technically, to everybody except for the voter. And even then, they tell their voters who they're going to vote for. That we saw it in 2016. We're seeing it again in 2020. They rigged the game. They have their agenda. And people that even legitimately stand a chance at gaining power for that organization will not be given the opportunity because they're the wrong person, because they're not already in the pocket of the people that actually run the DNC.
And in 2016, that was Hillary Clinton.
And here is the problem that I see with Bernie. I don't think the nation will be ruined by what he does. I still stand by what I said on the call-in show. He's lazy. I don't see him really taking the initiative to do anything. It's who he is and who he inspires that would ruin the country. It's his followers, it's his base that would certainly have this. This
is probably the last best chance that socialism is going to have in this country for a generation, at least.
Fucking snuff it out.
No, I would tend to agree, but this is probably the last best chance that legitimate socialism has got a chance in Bernie Sanders. But the DNC is so self-serving and corrupt, they refuse to let that happen, even if it would give them a win, because he's not the right guy. They do not have him in their pocket, and for them, that's a bigger issue than actually getting a win if it's not on their terms. They could win with Tulsi Gabbard. In a heartbeat, they could win with Tulsi Gabbard. They won't. They won't let it happen.
Yeah.
So what do you think will happen if they lose? Do you think the party will split, or is something new going to emerge, or what?
There will be violence in the streets when Trump wins again. Because they will have no other recourse for their delusional view of the world. They will have to resort to violence. They've already started. That's why there's news that isn't getting much play about the guy in Florida who ran a van through a bunch of Republicans that were signing up voters.
Yeah, in Jacksonville.
I don't know what city it was. I just know it was Florida. And there's news stories about it, but it's not getting the play on the, it's not getting the rotation that if it had been the other way around would have been news for a month. Can you stop fucking with shit in the background, Garrick?
It's not me.
Might have been me this time.
God damn it, Jay. Getting me blamed for shit.
All right, I'm done.
What are you moving, milk crates?
I was looking for something. All right.
There's a picture of the in
He's a white
memoriam
guy.
at the Oscars that has Jeffrey Epstein in it. That's hilarious.
I wonder if any of them were cropped in to get Harvey Weinstein out of the photo.
I need to put that everything. That's hilarious.
Okay, here's a topic. Since most of us are gun guys here, I wish Josh would still be here for this. But have you guys seen anything interesting out of SHOT Show?
No.
Haven't watched SHOT Show, so no. Oh, but speaking of guns, there's a bunch of my state legislators that have put in a bill, much like they did in Virginia, to ban assault rifles and assault weapons.
Oh, I saw that on the Discord that Arizona's next.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole gripload of these state representatives and state senators that are backing this thing, but I honestly, given the Republican majority here, do not see this as being something that will happen. Number one, simply because Ruger is here, and it would basically make their entire business model illegal in the state. So,
well, Bill Ruger was completely back the 10 rounds or less.
Bill Ruger is dead. Thank God for that.
Yeah, I'm just saying, he was the CEO of Ruger, and he still completely supported 10 rounds or less.
Their most popular 22, which the name eludes me currently off the top of my head.
The
10-22?
Yeah, the 10-20. Is it the 10-22?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
60 million.
Comes with 20 round magazines.
It comes with a 10-round rotary mag. By
Yeah, but I mean, they manufacture the 20 round magazines as well.
I would know. All of mine are Butler Creek. My 20, my 30s, my 50s. Yeah, I named my my 10-22 Dickie Dawkins because Richard Dawkins wouldn't shut up about guns at the time. But,
that's actually kind of clever. I didn't see that.
Yeah. It's a takedown 10-22. I freaking love that thing.
Is that the only one you have?
Well, I built one years and years ago, and I sold it because I realized that my build was about $1,200 for a 10-22 that costs $200.
Yeah, that's unless you were shooting competition, wasn't worth it.
Oh, dude, that thing was a tack driver. There's not it accepted most rounds and drove them like a tack. Heavy barreled. It was precision Timney trigger. The receiver was like $600 all on its own. Had basket weaving. It was black and silver, black and chrome really. But I ended up getting bought off me at I was shooting it at the time, and a guy offered me $1,400 for it. And I'm like, fuck yeah. Because I had realized that I had spent way too much building a 22.
Yeah. I mean, there's only one more that I wanted to do. I want to take a Ruger Charger and thread it, put a suppressor on it, and turn it into an SBR.
Integrally suppress it.
No, just suppress it, and that suppressor lives there.
That works.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to cut the barrel down to like 4 inches, though, is the catch.
So are you going to get a takedown?
Probably not. I mean, it's a Charger, though, is the problem. Well, that so what makes it easy is since it's already chopped down, I can just, or since it's already in pistol form, quote unquote, I can just chop the barrel shorter and throw the suppressor on while I'm waiting for the SVR stamp to come through.
Yeah, how are you gonna secure the barrel though?
It's going to be the same barrel, just chopped down.
Ruger barrels have a brace that you wrap around the end because it's only connected at one point.
It's connected at the receiver. I mean, it's not that big a deal.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. But the reason I brought up SHOT Show is because I heard that Beretta is bringing back the 21A Bobcat, and they are coming out of the factory threaded. And man, I am damn tempted to buy one. So, Sean, I want you to imagine this. Imagine a crack barrel pistol that is also semi-automatic and takes seven, I think it's 7 round mags in 22 Magnum. 22 long rifle, and it's about 3.8 inches long, total length.
How long?
3.8 inches.
Okay, that's really small, but we had my buddy's got a gun we call the Man Stinger that is basically that. It's a 12 shot. It's a revolver though.
Well, look this one up. The Beretta 21A.
Beretta 21. Hang on, my computer is going slow because it's doing a lot. Beretta what?
21A.
The Bobcat.
Indeed.
Blowback, semi-auto. It's very small.
Is that not the neatest little thing you've ever seen?
You never seen a Walther PPK?
I was gonna say, yeah, I think the Walters are better looking. And here's one with a tiny ass little can on it. I mean, that's kind of interesting just because it's really, really freaking small. But I'd rather have a 38. You know.
Have you seen the gold engraved one?
No. It's got an interesting breakdown.
You also see what I'm talking about with the crack barrel?
Yeah.
I always thought that was pretty neat.
Yeah, I wish Walther PPKs weren't so freaking expensive. Yeah, woo.
I still want a Bursa.
That looks like a PPK.
They basically do look identical to a friggin' PPK.
Yeah, the Burst Thunders, they're not bad. And 9mm too.
Dude, I used to go to a gun shop that would collect all the broken shit that people would bring in. I saw at least 3 Bursas. One exploded AR. That was pretty fucking awesome. Somebody tested somebody else's hand load, and they had no idea what they were doing and fucking blew up his gun. It's a damn shame.
I still want the 380 Bursa. I don't think I want the 9mm.
Okay. Oh, I might be trading a SIG 227 for a Canic TPSF and about 1,000 rounds of 9mm.
There you go.
That ain't a bad trade.
Hell no.
Wouldn't kick that trade out of bed. You know what I'm saying, guys?
Mm-hmm. Probably ought to transition away from Joe holding a gun to his head while we're talking about guns. I don't need the Secret Service coming giving me a knocky knock. It's not my fault he committed political suicide. I just hope he lives to see the day that he and his son's corruption comes to light, and his son goes to jail.
Do you think it'll happen? I think he's got too many ties in the government. That ain't gonna happen.
I think he's burning through them at a rapid pace.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for others like Nancy Pelosi, Maxine Waters, Mitt Romney, all being in the exact same boat, it would have already been a done deal. Because you sacrifice the obvious to protect that which is not so obvious.
Freaking Mitt Romney. I'm moving it. Shut up.
It's over now.
Damn, who got schwacked?
Let's get some of these windows closed because they're eating up way too much.
What else we got on the docket? Anything else?
Apparently, SNL started picking on Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah.
Color me shocked.
Yeah, I'm not really surprised by that at all. I got nothing.
Yeah, I'm pretty much spent.
So, predictions for tomorrow? In New Hampshire?
Booty Juice by The Lie.
I think he will have a good showing, but I think Bernie's got that one so locked up that they're not going to even be able to flub those numbers. I'd be shocked if that wasn't the case, and that would just point even larger to the rigging.
Well, can we talk about the company that made the app?
Shadow?
Shadow Inc. Because CIA voting front was already taken.
Movie from.
Oh, God damn it.
Quick prediction for Bernie. He either wins by 3 or loses by 3 in second place.
They wouldn't even allow that to happen, giving him second place.
I'm just saying. DNC's trying hard.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be surprised if the winner of the Iowa caucus ended up being Stacey Abrams.
Yeah, she still thinks she's going to be president. She didn't even win the governorship.
They're going to hold the
in a rigged
inauguration
election in her favor.
Yeah, they're going to hold the inauguration in between her teeth. Yeah, Stephen, booty juice does sound like diarrhea. All right, let's wrap this up, and we'll get into the hangout. Get Steven in here, and that'll be that.
Okie doke.
Unless anybody has anything else.
Not really.
No.
All right, then. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.
What is that second?